Yeah, I don't really know because I don't get into titles and shit like that. I try to focus more on where I stand with it, now how it has affected society from what I've seen since I was a child. Seeing my mother get divorced, seeing that separation of a father in the household, seeing how it drove my mother to work day and night so that she could provide, seeing her struggle bring money home. Um, and it's just, I'm thankful that she had the means and the way to do that, because I know in other societies in other countries women don't have that opportunity, and I'm very grateful that, where I live, a woman can do that if it comes down to, you know a lifestyle change based on divorce or based on tragedy or something like that. We can fend for ourselves. But the idea of just wanting to do that and not understanding that there is a way to live with men, how to interact with them, how to present yourself. I look at my ancestors' pictures on the wall at the shrine, and I mean, they didn't take no shit, and they dressed in dresses, and they knew how to make sure a man was in his place when they presented themselves to them, and they were beautiful, strong, um, awesome women that worked, but they also had a husband. They also had, and even if their marriage didn't work out, then they moved on and they kept going. But what I noticed is that one thing about feminism is, the main thing about it should be to empower women, not to dismantle the family structure, not to praise the fact that I'm a woman and I can do whatever I want. Anybody can if they have the skills. It's not about gender, sex, or whatever labels you want to put on it. It's about balance, and then again we keep coming back to balance. Um, I can't really, I don't know. I know that I've had my instances and issues when I would dress a certain way and people would approach me a certain way. And,
For example, can you explain? Can you
trying,
elaborate a little bit on that?
yeah, like, okay, say for example, I lived in Miami. Everybody's walking around in a little sundress.
A little something, something,
There it is.
flashing that bow tie. Yeah.
But you can't do that. But you can't do that in Cleveland. Somebody's going to run you down. Hey girl, hey, all this stuff. And it's just different. So it's knowing your environment, knowing where you are, knowing how to interact with people, but also being strong in yourself and your energy. And again, you come back to what you want to experience in your life. So if you know you're somewhere, um, just hold yourself to a certain standard. It's not always about clothes, but just understand that, just like when a man is sagging his pants and I can see his drawers and he's trying to talk to me, I can't do that. I can't, I'm sorry. I don't want to see the crack of your ass, your drawers, your balls. I don't want to see any of that. I need you to present yourself in a certain manner because I'm a woman and I'm a mother. And I let them know straight up. And I'm with, I have my partner here. And it's like we get these questions a lot, like, "Ooh, are you with her? What's going on?" Blah, blah. We're so comfortable with each other and we can have regular conversations. But you see the people, even him, he sees what's out there and he's like, man, I don't understand what's going on with this. It's not just the idealism that's come from people creating these words and these ideas. It's also what we're exposing ourselves to, what we're feeding ourselves spiritually, mentally, psychologically, physically, emotionally, TV, media, all these different things, sounds and frequencies, what we're exposing ourselves to. It's all these things. So that, again, it also comes back to the healing. What you put in your body, your temple, is what's going to exist. So not to say that you are what you attract and all that. I say I create my experiences based on what I surround myself with, what I want to become, what I want to experience. So I'm not going to go somewhere and I got tiny dresses, my body ain't bad, but I'm not going around just flaunting it like that. It's a time and a place for that. And I also have to think about who's, not necessarily that I care, but my children, I'm setting an example for them as well. So
Mhm.
time and a place for
Mhm.
everything,
I agree
and
with you. I
also
agree with
don't
you.
allow
Mhm.
Don't allow the feminist movement to prevent you from having the correct experience. Women deserve certain things. We deserve to be catered to and taken care of, and vice versa.
Mhm.
And it doesn't mean working to death. I never wanted anyone to take care of my children. I don't believe in babysitting. My father taught me that at a very young age. When you get married or when you decide to have children, you need to be home with them. Nobody needs to be raising your children. Period. And everybody can't afford that opportunity, but you should want your family and you to be the first person to teach your child. So you don't have all these issues coming into the house from outside influences. It's like
Mm.
it's so many different things. Like I can go on and I don't want to run on about it, but the feminist movement, there's negatives and positives to it, just like anything in life. There's a duality behind that existence as well. But
Yeah.
if we really want to heal as a people, we really need to understand what our roles are and how we need to be within that role so that we can manage each other or assist each other in the
But I think
lives that
that
we're walking.
the problem but that concept for you and me and some of us here, and those watching, some watching, it makes absolute sense because you know how to go about that. But the vast majority of people don't even know what you just said. They don't even know how to even begin to fucking understand what this means. It's like I'm having sometimes conversation with people and I'm like, well, oh, I'm feeling bad. Okay. What are you feeling bad about? Well, this and that is not going the way I want. Okay. First of all, how about you take some time to just breathe? Why the fuck would I breathe? Because if you don't oxygenate your brain and if you don't take a moment to just breathe, because all you do is just like staying in pressure and tension, your body does not have a moment to relax and give space to your system to just recuperate a moment. So take a deep breath at least 3, 4 times. Let's try that. Oh my God, that's ridiculous. Well, bro, it's not ridiculous. Like, trust me. Come on, man. Let's try this. Okay. All right. How do you feel? Start yawning. Oh, damn. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. All right. Whatever. And it's like you gotta baby step them into this thing, and it's like it's so discouraging. So especially when you see people with the potential and you see that they have it in them, but they're refusing to embrace anything that is outside of their system belief. Just like, for example, women and men who want a good man or a good woman, or whatever it is that you're into. But yet, when they find that, they automatically freak out and want to go straight towards the very thing that they despise the most, which is a fuck boy and a fuck girl. It's like, yeah, that's at least that I understand, that I know how to function with because it's the fuck world I know how to deal with because I don't feel worthy enough to be with this type of woman or this type of man because I don't love myself enough. But yet, I need to look good because for me, loving myself is about the looks. It's about being on flick. It's about showing my guns, my tattoos, my booty, my tits, my whatever, how thick or how fit I am. Like the perception of self love itself is completely busted. Please emphasize on the topic, my dear sister. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Jump the science, Nikki.
Yeah, so I was going to ask if everybody thinks about when was the last time they had a good cry, or when was the last
Ooh.
time they were actually able to sit with somebody of the opposite sex and just express themselves.
Please,
These are
family,
the things.
type in your answers. Type in your answers. Interact here, yo. We need to see some interactions. By the way, Keisha sends his blessings to you, Sister Nikki. It's
Oh,
like
hey,
blessings to you,
Keisha,
sis.
what's up, brother?
Yes,
Yeah,
so
man. Yeah, when I think about my last cry, I mean, I cry often. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm an emotional person, but not to a fault. Just I don't hold back when I express myself anymore because I feel that whatever joy or whatever sadness I'm feeling, I need to let it out. If it's with a stranger or anything like that, if someone touches a nerve and I feel blessed and compelled to express myself, then I do that. And I think that when people think of self-love, that you're right, they do think of things outside of themselves. But when I
yeah.
think of self-love, I think about all the things that I'm doing to set myself up. I like getting my nails done and my hair done and my feet done and waxing and, you know, I'm at the dentist and I'm getting new glasses and contacts and stuff, and
Hmm.
I'm taking care of my outside shell, but you have an aura. You have energy outside of yourself. You have energy within yourself. So how do I expect to even make this look good when I don't even feel right on the inside? You are a reflection of who you truly are inside.
Whether
So
you
if
want to
that's
let
what
it be
if
seen
you're
or not.
yeah, if you're utilizing outside tools to make yourself feel better, when you take it all off, you're still yourself. So how can you sit there and say, "Oh, I feel good." If someone has to even say that, or "I look good," "I'm good. What do you mean?" I hear that a lot. "Oh, I'm doing all right. I got
Hmm.
money and this and that." Everything can go tomorrow. I've experienced that. I've experienced having millions of dollars in a mansion to being homeless and pregnant. So it's like I've
Mm.
experienced both sides. So trust me, when someone comes to me and I ask them real questions, and when we get down into it, they get scared to answer those questions because they don't want to look within themselves. And you can see that. And it's
Hmm.
not something spiritual, it's common sense. So when people are out here searching partners, especially where we are right now, you have to ask the right questions. What is your skill? What's your
Yeah.
life skill? What's your social skill? What else can you bring to me at this time? How can we combine our skills and make something really happen? I'm thinking about a tribe. I garden, I do spiritual healing, I know a little bit of first aid, I have military training. Okay, so what do I need to come outside of me to assist me in making sure that we're all secure? Because people are crazy out here to do. They're thirsty and they're struggling. And if somebody tries to do something, then I know what my skill is. If I have struggles here, then I can ask somebody for their skills. I don't think anybody should be looking for a partner with looks, with a fat ass, trying to stick their dick in something right now when, you know, people are desperate. People are desperate. It's time for you to really face the fact and do something about yourself. Take the time out because we can't really function in society or in this world the way we used to. What are you willing to
Yeah.
sacrifice to reintegrate in society? It's like I know what I'm willing to do and not do. And I know what my spirit is asking of me so that when people decide to integrate or disintegrate or not integrate in society at all, what is my place as a spiritual person? What is my place as a teacher, as a facilitator? So we all have to walk in our truth now. There's a set, I mean, that's, fuck, there's a separation that's happening in society right now, and I see it
Mm.
clearly. There'll be those that won't care about the system and won't want to integrate, and those that will. And you can tell who will because of what they're willing to do right now just to survive, to show off and to show out. What they're asking for from the opposite sex and from the same sex, what they're willing to do to hold a certain standard and to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, it's all in our face right now. If you're having a
Mm.
problem in a relationship, or if you're having a problem with yourself or your family, there's no reason or excuse that you can't face it head on at this point. If you really want to heal, you'll do that. So it's not even about relationships. It's about a relationship with yourself. So any questions that have to do with anything outside of us right now, any problem that we're facing, it's internal. It's a reflection. Face that
Ooh
shit
wee.
head on. And so all that fat ass and we're not even in the clubs anymore. We we can't even do that. Like, where are you meeting these people? I get it, but what's going on? How desperate are you? If you're that desperate, then you really need to look inside of yourself.
You can
For
meet them in
real.
Dubai. No, people are gonna think that I'm hating on them. I just find it so funny that all the chicks are out there in Dubai flashing booties and all that. It's so funny. But I do like. I do have to say it's an eye candy. It's fun. It's a nice clickbait. It's like click click. Oh,
Yeah.
nice. But it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting. So here so Keisha said, once a month, let it out. I mean, I feel that. But then Master Electronic. So Master Electronic. Now I don't want to put you on the spot, bro, but I need to let it be seen. So Master Electronic says And I'm going to respond to that first, and then I'll let you and then I'll let you echo or contradict or whatever you want to say, sister. But Master Electronic says, I do cry for being strong for too long. I don't cry for being weak. So this is the thing. I understand the idea of being strong for too long, but the idea of strength and weakness when it comes to crying is not applied for me, because to cry is to cry. If you need to let that emotion, because crying, especially for us as men, as we were raised, well, my African father was like, no, 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 no. You don't cry like a little girl, or don't, and here now, if you said, oh my God, you're traumatizing my child, oh my God, you shouldn't even make it about being a little girl, because what? Because girls are not strong. That's no. So everybody's so sensitive about everything now. You can't even fucking fart without even having somebody coming at you for, why did you fart? Like, you're not supposed to be passing gas. Like, really? Fuck are you talking about? Like, there's everybody's canceling one another. Everybody's so it's like, cool, I get it. As a child, you're raised, especially as a boy, you're like, yo, cool, you're not supposed to be doing this, you're not supposed to be doing that, and this is how a man needs to be behaving. And yeah, I had some of these stigmas, I guess, if you want to call it stigma. I don't see them like that, because I don't carry them as a burden or as a stigma. But I have to say that, interestingly, as much as my father rose me in with this kind of principles of, like, you don't cry for nothing. You got to have a good reason to cry. And I understood what that meant. So I understand the weakness point you're trying to make here. But at the same time, I think it's very sensitive because of the world we live in. The youths now, they're not like us. They're not like the ones before us.